Hey, how's it going? My name is Dom. Are you as worried over money as I am? Because I know I am. Money is like one of my biggest worries, always has been, and I think it kind of always will. And for many reasons, at least at this present time. For one, I live in Maryland. And if you live in Maryland, you know it's expensive living around here. And I don't know how it is around everywhere else in the US, but I know it's very expensive in Maryland. I'm a single income household. I'm the one working, and I'm supporting like 5 people, 3 kids. It's a big pressure for me, right? But even throughout all of my worries, I still feel surprisingly steady. And I think God's given me that grace to kind of keep steady. And I'm not saying that all my worries are gone, because the worries are still there. I don't magically have an extra $50,000 in my bank account, right? The problem still exists, but I think what the Lord is trying to tell me is he's just inviting me to trust in him and to tackle this problem with him just one day at a time. One day at a time. So how exactly does he want me to do that? Well, yeah, I need to trust him, but how do you do that? How does anybody build trust in the Lord? And I think it comes down to this very simple thing that I think we all overlook because it just gets said so much, but it's this. You need to really focus on him in the present moment. That's it. What is the Lord asking me to focus on right now? So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna act like I'm a guru who has all his stuff together, but yeah, what it all boils down to, it's like, yeah, how is God making himself present? How is God making his grace known to me at this time? And you know, when I think about money, right, like it's so easy to hyper focus on it, especially for me being like super ADHD. I can hyper focus on things, and I can start to lose focus on like all the other things. So how is God making himself present to me right now? Like, I could tell you, for one thing, God's definitely making himself present to me right now. It's like one of the most beautiful areas in my part of Maryland, I think. And I know he's making himself present to me right now. It's something that I just have to trust. So, going back on topic, God gives me the grace to know what to do in the present moment, right? And I think this consists in like two things. It gives me the grace to know when to work and the grace to know when to rest. Now, the story that really sticks out to me in the gospel about this is the story about Mary and Martha. When Martha's like going around the house, she's like super anxious about cleaning, cooking, doing things around while, you know, Mary is sitting with Jesus. And, you know, Jesus kind of rebukes Martha and saying that, hey, you know, you're worried and anxious about many things, but Mary has chosen the best part, and that will not be taken away from her. And I think about that, right? Because Mary is like literally resting, but Jesus isn't like completely saying that what Martha is doing is completely wrong. He's just saying that it's not the right time to do those things. And yeah, again, like the Lord gives us the grace to know when to do those two things. And it's important to be able to recognize when he's calling you to those things, right? Another story that comes to mind to me when it comes to the work portion is Peter trying to walk on water, right? And what we need to do is what Peter started to do but failed, and I think that is that we need to keep our eyes always on our Lord, and and how that looks like on our everyday. That looks like literally inviting him to every moment of our day, because I think that's something that gets brushed off to the side a lot. Like, oh, invite God into every moment of your life. Yeah, sure thing, whatever. It sounds very easy, but it's actually really hard to do because we're so inundated with noise. We have so many things going on in our mind. We've got lots of priorities. We've got a whole list of to-dos, right? And that's even before you leave for work in the morning. But yeah, it's inviting the Lord to literally everything. Are you trying to get your kids ready for school in the morning? Invite the Lord in that moment. Are you driving to work and it's quiet? Invite the Lord to that moment. Are you on the beach trying to record a YouTube video? Invite the Lord in that moment. Right? It takes practice because I know I'm very busy thinking about other things at like any given moment, and it's taken a lot for me to just remember those small, like, little, hey Lord, I invite you, or just visually trying to think or imagine or just know of the Lord's presence at every moment, right? And when you see the Lord acting in each of those moments, that's what builds the trust. So if you could trust the Lord in these small moments, you can trust that He's also going to be there for the big moments where, you're worrying about money or your kids' health or, your family's health or anything going on in your life situation. Oh, I gotta wait for this jet to pass. So yeah, trusting Him, trusting in His presence in the small moments. Over time, again, you'll start to see Him in the bigger moments too, right? And you won't feel nearly as alone in tackling these big, scary things like money. Like, for example, my kids playing, especially my daughter, my youngest daughter. She's about 15 months, 16 months? No, 18 months. Super far off. But just being able to just put my phone aside and watch her play instead of like anxiously scrolling through my bank account and wondering when my next side hustle gig is going to come in, or being anxious on when I'm going to get paid next, and being anxious on like, oh, groceries cost this much, rent's coming out, bills coming out. Like I could choose to fixate on my phone and worry about all those things, but really right now I have to be so cognizant on what I'm doing at the moment, and at that moment I'm watching over my daughter who's playing and who's growing right in front of my eyes, and I saw the Lord in that moment pretty much saying, yes, money, yeah, that's something that we could worry about, but that's not something we're going to worry about right now. Right now, we're going to worry about just being present. So then when it does come to work, I think, at least in my life, the Lord has given me like little inspirations, like, hey, this is a good moment right now to work on, a budget spreadsheet, and He helps me out with that at that very moment. Again, it's not like the Lord is saying, hey, let's just forget all our worries, because I think our worries are there to kind of point us towards something that we're supposed to do. Sorry, I live on a Navy base, so it's like I hear jets all the time. So yeah, so when it does come to the time that I'm meant to work on something, I can rest assured knowing that the Lord will give me those signals to say, hey, let's work on this for a little bit, and let's work on it together, because I will help you. I'm always here to help you. I'm always there, right? So yeah, he gives us the grace to know when to work and when to rest. We just need to be hyper-focused on him, as always, keeping our eyes on him as we walk on the waters of life. As cheesy as it is, we must always keep our eyes focused on him, because that's the only way that we're not going to sink like Peter did, right? So I don't know what you're going through in your life. I don't even know if anybody will watch these videos. Whatever it is. I'd say just take some time to notice how God is working, like literally in this second, right? In this second, or in this next 5 minutes of your life. Try to see where God is working at, give thanks to him, and just simply ask him and invite him into, whatever situation that you're coming into. I hope this helps. Hooray, hooray for my first video. Yeah, if you like it, subscribe, and I hope to try to do something quite regularly. So thanks. God bless.